I'm Marty Michelle, and I want to show you how we use set B of the Perfect Patchwork templates to make the baskets in the gorgeous Rachel's Basket quilt. Now, if you've bought the kit that features the Wild Rose fabric from Maywood Studio and Marty Michelle, you will have gotten a stack of 34 gorgeous pastel prints as a part of that kit. And the first thing you're going to do, because there are 34 but only 18 baskets, is pick the fabrics that you'd like to use for the baskets. Now, we actually give you a layout. It's a little teeny picture in the pattern, so I've enlarged one so you can see we have a layout of these pieces that are 14 by 18 inches. You're going to cut strips for the log cabin quilt eventually. You're going to cut just 6 pieces each of triangles for the baskets. On the fabrics that you choose to actually make the basket base, you'll cut 2 more triangles for the feet on the basket, and here's where you'll cut the triangle out. So I like to have you do that part first, pick the 18. And what if you've picked one of these fun stripes like this? Our pattern even gives you special instructions for how to make it look like you've mitered all those stripes. I'm not sure I mentioned that while the Rachel's Basket quilt is featured in our Log Cabin ABC book, it is also available as a separate pattern with all of the information for not only the full size, but as a surprise, you're going to find there are instructions for a crib size mini Rachel's Basket also. So once you've done this and you've started and you've cut and laid aside your baskets, your following instructions also say to cut 2.5 by 10.5 inch strips of the basket fabric and also of the white background fabric for the basket scraps. And then I've put 4 of those together. Well, you know, no matter how you make triangles, if you will put the fabrics that are going to be sewn together, right sides together before you cut, your accuracy will improve. So I've actually got 2 sets here. I've just checked them out to make sure they're nice and smooth. And we're using our triangle B13. I've actually used B12 also for some measuring. And we'll also use B9 eventually as the part of the base of the basket. Now, I'm right-handed, so there's a tendency for right-handed people to start at the right end of a strip when they're ready to cut. But I've learned that if I start at the left end much more regularly, don't have an awkward cut that I sometimes get down here. Got the template placed. Now, the nice thing about our templates, the engineered corners, I'm going to put my cutter into the fabric. Now, this is really important. I do it with everything I cut. When you're holding fabric down with a template in your hand or your ruler in your hand, and then you come against the edge of fabrics, there's a real likelihood of distorting right here. You're holding, you're pushing, you're going to distort. In addition, because our templates have the engineered corners, then we don't actually have a piece of acrylic that comes all the way across the edge. So first of all, it's important to remember when we're working with templates, we're always cutting strips first. You know, you say the word template, and a lot of times people think you're going to trace around and cut around and maybe even use scissors. No, 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 no. We're going to cut strips just like if you're quick cutting with a ruler. It's just that our templates give us the final, absolutely accurate cut. Now, to be really accurate, you need to put your cutter touch the acrylic, and it needs to be straight up and down not angled, and not out here someplace, but directly beside the acrylic. Now I put it in and pull it back off the fabric and then go forward. Now you see I've already created the curvature of that blade, and when I go forward there's no chance that I will distort. I've got a rotating mat, so I'm able now, I've moved this from the strip. It doesn't matter if I keep the template on it or not as I rotate, because I can always put it right back in place. And now I'm just going to, I can turn, and you see how easy it is to cut those off. But it's always a surprise to me how much fabric you're cutting off. Just keep going, and now I'll finish the other edge. Nip, nip. Rotate this on around. Now I'm just going to have to cut here, release that a little bit, and guess what? The best part of this, these are all ready because we put the fabrics right sides together. They are all ready to chain piece, and they're really ready to chain piece. So as the pieces come together here, there are no dog ears, no points to go down in the throat plate of your sewing machine. And I'm ready to chain piece, and this is how many triangles. You know, chain piece means that you don't stop sewing, you just keep putting the next piece in. And this is how many triangles I need for one basket.